What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back to me, too. If you've been following my videos, you've seen that I've taken a little break from recording, at least being on camera, because my son was born, I can't believe it's already been like 6-7 weeks, but 6-7 weeks ago. And he's doing great. Happy little chunky boy. But for all of you dads out there, moms out there, you know it's a ton of work raising a newborn. So I've been, being off camera, still recording some Brawl gameplay, but it's good to be back on camera. I found a tiny nugget of time where I can get back on camera and do it, so I took advantage of that. So I'm excited to be back talking to you guys today. Today we're going to play Roxanne, Starfall, Savant. Savant? Yeah, Savant. So it's a Gruul commander, super unique. One of the more popular ones in the queue right now, so let's get the card to read. Whenever Roxanne, Starfall, Savant enters or attacks, enters is now the shorthand for enters the battlefield, if you haven't caught up to that. So enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite. Meteorite is a real card from back in the day. It's like a 5-mana artifact that, I guess you can see it on the screen there. But you were creating tokens of it. So the old card Meteorite was awful because it was 5 mana to do this effect. We're getting this for free whenever Roxanne enters the battlefield or attacks. So it enters, it's a mana rock, but it also deals 2 damage to any target. So we can do 2 damage to the opponent's face, or we can kill one of their mana dorks, or maybe their commander if it's got 2 toughness. So we ramp and do damage to something. It's a very cool effect. And then whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced. So it doubles our mana rock tokens. Not mana rocks, they have to be tokens, but it does work with treasures. So there's a lot of things going on in this deck. It's mainly built as a more aggro style deck. You could build this in a mid-range shell or even a control shell if you wanted to. I built it as an aggro deck. So in the games you'll see today, you'll see that if we get to the point where we're playing against a control deck and we get to the point where, we're not going to be able to come back from the deficit we're in, we're just going to scoop those games because we're the aggro deck. We don't need to sit there and try to play it out for an hour. If we can't win in the beginning or mid game, we're probably not going to win with this deck, but that's okay. It's just not designed to do that, right? We're designed to ramp into Roxanne, get the Meteorite down, maybe even Panharmonicon, get 2 Meteorites down, either split the damage or do 4 damage to one thing, and then continue to do that every turn with Roxanne. And then, because we're making a ton of mana, we have a bunch of extra mana to spend, so we can cast Big Eldrazi, or we can hit the Motherlode, or, Kogla. We can triple our damage. If we get a ton of mana, we can Crackle with Power and just destroy the opponent. It's very possible in this deck to do that. The rest of the cards in the deck are basically ramp, or, like I mentioned before, ways to make treasures, because the treasures also get triggered by Roxanne's ability with the doubling mana effect. Everything else is kind of like awesome ramp, like big ramp cards. Ramp cards you don't see very often, but like Escape to the Wilds here, super awesome ramp card, but you need to be in a ramp deck to play it, a Gruul ramp deck. So this lets us cast an extra land and gives us 5 cards that we get to play until our next turn. Super good. So a bunch of value-y stuff like that. But like I said, the main game plan is get Roxanne down, hopefully double its effects with, Doubling Season or Panharmonicon, and just try to aggro out the opponent with damage. And then if Roxanne's not doing it on her own, then we can, cast some of our big finishers. So let's get into the games. Let's see how well I built this deck. I'm not typically an aggro player or a, creature kind of mage, if you will, but I do like Gruul. Gruul is one of my go-tos if I'm going to be in that archetype, because I feel like, green can be a little slow, which is why I find like mono green kind of hard to play, especially in Brawl, because it's creatures that don't usually have haste. They can, but they usually don't, and so you end up being a little too slow to like aggro out your opponent. But with Gruul, you have red, so you can be a little bit faster, and you have the damage aspect, which helps kind of get you over the edge, over the hill with some of the decks that are harder to take down. We'll see what queue we're in. I don't think I've seen this card before. Oh no, I have, yeah. So you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. And then whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. Yeah, so essentially it's Spellslinger, mono red Spellslinger. Probably just need to kill it. Hell to Pay can do that. This is a decent hand. They get to go first though, which sucks. What does this do? Whenever an artifact control enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's land, you may reveal it with your hand. Don't. I'm tempted to mulligan this hand, but I think against Spellslinger it's okay. So we'll keep it. We do have a ramp source. It's a little slow on the draw. We have a great card draw spell later on, which will be minimum if we get if Top Area Stomper is down, it'll be a draw 4 or Roxanne. Hell to Pay can kill their commander. We have all our lands we need to get the engine going. So it's a decent hand. It's just not. I would prefer like a little bit more removal or a little bit more ramp. That like a 2 mana ramp spell would be nice, but can't have everything. Okay, so that's nice. Fable is a 3 mana ramp spell, but it also creates us a creature that can give us more treasures. So I think that makes this hand a bit better. And we can filter out or loot away the cards we don't need if we get to that point. This guy. Oh, that's a combo piece. Okay, so that needs to die. Is this a shaman? It is a shaman. Okay. Okie dokie. We need the forest. I guess we get down the blocker. It'll help us later on. It's really the only play we can make, so get it down. We could play this on 1, which is kind of great, so I think that's the best play. Basilisk Collar, equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. If they spend their turn equipping this and attacking me, that's fine. That's fine. We're not too worried about that. Is this an equipment deck? Why do you have so many equipment? Equipped creature gets +1/+1, Death Touch. Is it because oh, okay, so no block. So because this deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature, if they give it Death Touch, even though the damage may not, like if we have a 3 toughness creature and they do 2 damage to it, the Death Touch will kill it because it's considered Death Touch damage. So that's what they're trying to go for with these Death Touch equipments. All right, I think we just stomp her. Do we Fable or do we stomp her? If we Fable, they might try to remove the Goblin. And if they don't remove the Goblin, then we can cast Roxanne next turn. I think either way, that's a win. Stomper is a little bit too slow because it can't block or attack until we have 7 lands. So I think this is the better play. Either way, if they choose to deal with this with like a burn spell, then we get the burn spell out of their hand, and that's not going towards Roxanne. If they don't get rid of it, then we can get the treasure next turn. Okay, so they just play their commander, and that's it. All right. So what do we want to get rid of? I think we can get rid of Balagid Recovery. Tapped land right now is not great. Okay, that's for later. So we can play Roxanne. It doesn't get rid of their commander because it has 4 toughness. So what does this say? Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, it does the thing. So if we play Roxanne and we don't kill their guy, then they're just gonna kill our Roxanne. Okay, so I think the better play here is first attack with the shaman, get the treasure. It's not the play I would have liked to do. We don't need that right now. It's not the play I would have liked to do, but I think, yeah, that's fine. It's gonna die. We just needed the treasure. Let's go get an untapped land. I think Hold on, let me read health bay. Yeah, X damage. And then we create tap treasures too, so it ramps us as well. So we kind of have, we have 2 green, 2 red sources. I think we're okay. It doesn't really matter which one. I guess we can take the stomping ground. Maybe we don't want to shock that in though, because we're against a burn deck, probably. So we'll take a forest. We have mostly green cards in our hand, and then let's just kill their commander. And I guess since we're not doing excess damage, it doesn't give us any treasures, but now the commander costs 6, so we're delaying that. And I think that's the best play, because if we just slam Roxanne, they were going to do the death touch damage thing next turn. They're setting up for that. This has all been a big setup to get the death touch thing going. I don't care about 1 damage and you gaining 1 life. Okay. We didn't draw a land, which is unfortunate. So what does this do? So we could give this 3 counters. No, I think it's just Stomper for the land. And then I guess let's get a red source because we have triple green already. And attack. No point in blocking. Kill Stomper. That's fine. That's 1 spell that's not going to go at Roxanne. They probably have a bunch of those. Crush the weeps, they kill all my stuff. But we can still Roxanne next turn. And they're missing land drops. Okay. We drew a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have anything cooler that we can do? Not really. So I think it's just Roxanne. Yeah. And then if they kill it, we can replay it again next turn. 2 damage to that creature doesn't do anything. I think we're just going to use this on a surveil land. So we're just going to hold it, just in case. Red has land destruction, so if they try to target it, we can crack it in response. Oh, Mizzix's Mastery, that's not great. So they're going to kill Roxanne. They're going to spend their whole turn casting 1 spell off Mizzix's Mastery to kill Roxanne. Okay, so with that information, let's go get the surveil land and see what's on the top of our deck. I mean, that plus Return to the Wild Speaker is pretty nuts, right? Yeah. We'll take that. Take action. We're also getting very close to this. What does this do? Look at the top 20 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them. If this spell was bargained, put the revealed cards into battlefield. Otherwise, put the cards into your hand. Okay, and bargain, sacrifice an artifact. Yeah, so we could bargain it. They're low on cards. Let's make them have the answer to this guy. And then we'll just put this down. Just use our mana. Okay. They didn't shock it in. They could have and played their commander. They crackle with... Oh, that's good. See, that we're using all their cards that they would like to have hit us in the face on our creatures. No blocks. Our life total's getting low, but not too low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can't bargain this spell. We can just play Roxanne. They have 1 card in hand. I mean, how much more removal do they have? We could just get the creatures in our hand. That's kind of lame. I think we just play Roxanne. Get the mana rock. Keep our mana going. No attacks. I'm gonna hold it back as a blocker. Okay, Solemn. Go get a land. Yeah, we're happy to let them use their big burn spells on our creatures and not our face. Herbras Forge is nice. Okay, so now I should have enough mana to bargain this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we can sack this guy. So why don't we do that first? Bargain. Sack the tap one. Oh, what a whiff. I guess it's not nothing, but that's not ideal. So this has Death Touch, so we don't want to attack with Roxanne, which is kind of awkward. We could just play Herbras Forge. Yeah, I mean, better to use the mana than not. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Well, if they block, it's not the end of the world. I guess we'll do it... We'll put the damage here, and we'll see how they block. Oh, they choose not to kill my commander? Oh, they did kill my commander. Okay, never mind. That's fine. We got plenty of mana to replay it. Okay, that wasn't what I meant to do, but here we are. I meant to just attack with the token, but it cleared their board, so it wasn't the worst attack ever. I'm surprised they blocked with 26 life. I would understand if they were also at 12 life, but 26, they probably could have just taken that. Okay, trying to draw some cards. I think we have enough mana for Emrakul next turn. We could put everything in front of this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we have enough for Emrakul. And it'll be probably a little cheaper if we block with everything. So, pass. And we also have Elvish Mystic, but we're gonna let it go. We can't keep taking hits from this thing. And if they give it prowess, that's fine. Again, we're making them cast their spells. Oh, it has trample. Ugh. So it's probably good that we triple blocked, because that would have been 7 to our face. To Inferno. Okay. Double strike. Scary. Are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. Ah, well, they got it by 1. So that's one of those games where if we had one more turn, we would have Emrakul'd and we would have won. So we were 1 turn away, 1 damage away, right? It's a good thing I didn't shock in that Stomping Grounds earlier, because that would have, got us even closer to death. But they just had the cards, there's nothing you can do about it. It's amazing that they drew the exact right cards in that situation, though. It really is, because they needed exactly those cards. Which I don't think their deck, based on what they played before, it's not like a whole bunch of pump spells, but they just happened to seize the spoils right into them. Pretty lucky, but they had it. Good for them. Hinata is I just did a video on Hinata. Hinata is a tough one. Target spells are really bad against it. And they get to go first again. See, that's the other thing. They got to go first last game. So again, if we went first, we would have won that game because it would have been 1 step ahead. So it always sucks to go second. So is this hand good enough going second? I mean, Fable is really good. We'll try it. We'll try it. Prismatic Vista. We don't have a turn 1 play, so might as well play the tap MVFC. We could have put a fetch land and gotten our surveil land. That's also a play that we could have made, but there's no better time to put down a tap land than right now. So this is another tap land. Do we have a turn 2 play? We don't. So let's just get that down, do a damage to them. Yeah, nope. So if they built this deck like I did, they have a lot of counter magic. Thankfully, this can't be countered if we do 5 or more. Or the damage, yeah, can't be countered. Can't be countered. Okay, so let's give them their first thing to counter. I'm sure they're going to counter this. Or they don't have a counter, and we get Fable. Yeah. Typical. That's not a great counterspell in this deck, though, because it can't be cost reduced by Hinata, because it's double blue. You kind of want counterspells that are generic in the blue, but it is one of the best counterspells, so I get why they put it in there. Yeah, we can play at Sushi. They might not have a counter for a creature. Okay, getting the Stomping Grounds here. Counterspell? This is the way you gotta play counterspell heavy decks. You just gotta keep throwing stuff at them. They'll eventually run out of counterspells. Wash away. Okay, so that's not going at our commander, so that's good. You always want to put down as much mana as possible too, because sometimes they'll have counters that are like, unless they, like what's a good example? Jawari Disruption. If they have Jawari Disruption and I play Pain Harmonicon on 4, then I don't have 1 to pay. But if I go get an untapped land and they have Jawari Disruption, they can't counter this. So you just want to play around stuff like that too. Okay. Resolves. That's a good one to have resolved too. So they're either out of counters or they don't have a counter that would allow them to counter that, like a Jawari or Censor. Any of the ones that say counter unless the opponent pays 1. They could have one of those in their hand. Or they wanted to Memory Deluge. That's fine. That probably indicates that they're out of gas, though. Maybe these are, it's like 2 lands and 2 target spells that aren't counters, right? We'll see what they do. If they put down Hinata and leave a blue up, it's definitely a little scary. Definitely a little scary. So what would be nice is a land, really. Yeah. Okay, they did the thing. So if you've never seen this card, spells we cast that target things cost 1 more to cast. So these both target, and so I have to pay an additional mana to target this. So I could kill it if that wasn't the thing, but I can't right now. Because it's 4 toughness, I'd have to pay 4 for X, and then I wouldn't have 1 left over to pay for the tax. So really our only play here is Charming Scoundrel. Yeah, that's fine. I'd be shocked if they countered this, but we get double treasure, which is nice. I will just take the double treasure, I think. And pass. I could play Roxanne, but I think it's better to wait. We could also return the Wild Speaker for 1. Nope, that's not really a great play. Is this an instant? No, it's a sorcery. This is a sorcery. Okay, yeah. Not a great turn, but not the worst turn. So now they've got a full grip, probably a lot of protection for Hinata, probably a lot of counter spells, so we're just gonna have to fight through it. Really need to draw more lands. We need to keep our mana advantage going. As long as we have enough mana, we can start double spelling and fight through their stuff. I am glad I have Panharmonicon down. That might be the one thing that gets us back in this game. Just gonna leave all your mana. Yep. Okay. All right. So we don't want to use this, although this would be the play that I would do to draw out a counter normally, but I don't want to sacrifice our treasures. So I think a better play is to put down a 4/4 with Ward 2. See if that resolves. Not spending the treasures, because we're not drawing lands, and we don't want to give up our mana advantage. So they could counter this, but that's fine. Again, it gets a counter out of their hand. If they don't counter it, then we have a 4/4, so we can start applying the pressure to them. They might bounce my Panharmonicon or something. Not totally sure. Okay, Sublime Epiphany. So that's one of the best spells in this deck, because they can reduce it down to double blue with Hinata's ability. I'm surprised they didn't bounce my treasures. So let's attack. We can't block. We're both at 17, so we're losing the race right now. Normally a tough counter to pull off in a blue deck, but in this deck it gets cost reduced because every single one of its modes target. So it gets reduced by 4. Pretty nuts. This is all in my end step. Missing land drops has really hurt us in this game. This, like I said in the intro, this might be one of those games where we're facing a control deck and our deck is just not designed to win the long game against control decks. So we might just scoop it up in a turn or two because we don't have anything to come back from this. We'll see. I'll try to cast some stuff and we'll see what happens. And we'll see what we draw. But the deck's designed to win before we get to this point. Or at least have a really overwhelming battlefield, right? But we haven't been able to do that. It's just too many clunky spells against a commander that, yeah, we're still not drawing lands. All right, I mean, Panharmonicon, get countered, scoop it up. Nope, okay. Maybe they don't have a counter. I don't know. We can get something back from the graveyard. What is it, a creature or land? Is it an instant? It's a sorcery. This would be something that they'd want to counter, honestly. So let's try it. Wait, why did it tap the treasure? Why did it tap a treasure? I had an open green. Oh, because it targets. This stupid card. Oh my god. Because it targeted, see, return target creature or land. Because it targets something in my graveyard, this taxes it, so I had to spend the treasure. Didn't even think about that. Okay, remember we lose for 7 because 6 cards in your hand isn't enough. If we get Roxanne down and we have, you know, if we draw a land, we get Roxanne through the, you know, they don't have a way to counter it, which is unlikely with a hand this big, but, and we kill Hinata, we might be back in this game, but I don't know. I built this deck, I know how it works. We'll try. We're at 13, they're at 12. They keep hurting themselves with their shock lands and fetch lands. If they get low enough and we get Roxanne through with Panharmonicon, I mean, it's 4 damage to the face, so... yeah, you got it. Bounce my treasure. So this gets reduced by 3 because they did 3 targets. Make 2 treasures. Down to 9. I mean, if we kept the mana going, we could have Bane fired their face too if they got low enough. But at 12, it's not close. How many turns have we not drawn a land in a row? Like, Is that 5 turns in a row? Yeah, I think we're... Well, here, let's just see. Counter. Does it resolve? It does? Okay. They're probably just gonna bounce it or something. Okay, well, we'll see. I guess I won't scoop. Mass bounce spell. They're selecting a lot of things, probably something like that. Yep. 8 damage, cool beans. GG. Yeah, again, our deck, I could have scooped a lot earlier, but I was trying to, you know, play it out for the viewers. But if I was playing off stream, I would have scooped a long time ago, because that deck is a Jeskai control deck that's very hard to play through unless you are also equipped to play through it. And our deck is not. So we've lost 2 games. We haven't really shown. I mean, the first game we were 1 turn away, right? So, you know, it's not totally fair that we're like the 0-2 scoreline is not a totally fair reflection of how the deck's doing. But the Jeskai control deck, that's a bad matchup for us. Emrakul in the opener is not great. Panharmonicon's nice. Zorn's cool. We get to go first finally. Bristly Bill. So, I mean, Zorn plus Fable is pretty sweet, but we're only going to be able to do it once because we'll attack right into the Bristly Bill. Panharmonicon's nice, but we have to draw lands, and I don't feel great after the last game. I think I'm going to mulligan this. This is better. We don't have double green, but this is better. Alright, so let's Surveil. Turn 1. Try to find another green source. And then we're off to the races. Although Cedh Spoils gives us a treasure, so we technically get green source from that. But we'd like more permanent green mana. Forest? No. Ansrag. Ansrag. Against Bristly Bill is pretty good. We'd have the mana to spend. Yeah, it's a good turn 4 play, and we don't have a turn 4 play right now. Alright, we'll take it. We have time to draw the green source. Do we smack this down? It's a 1/1. It's probably better as a blocker right now. Not the best play, but if Bristly Bill goes off like it can, could be a good play. Just to have a blocker up. Okay. So, we could seize the spoils, or we could just play this Llanowar Elf. Against a mono green deck, Llanowar Elf's probably pretty safe. And then if we draw a land, next turn we have Roxanne. Won't be able to kill Bristly Bill if they grow it, but... yeah, we really need to draw a land. I mean, it's the theme of this video, right? But drawing a land really helps us. I mean, we could do so many things. We could Goldspan Dragon, we could Ansrag, we could Stomper to keep ramping, we could seize the spoils to ramp and maybe draw some more stuff. Okay. They're probably going to attack here with Bill. Yep. No blocks. For now. This will be like a, you know, save our bacon kind of block later on. No land. Man, I have 40 lands in this deck. You wouldn't believe me, though. Let's put Ansrag down. You want to attack me every turn? Let's do it. This will at least hold off the aggro for a bit. The perfect card. Okay, well, we gotta start blocking. Yeah, well, it has trample now, so this is the better block. Yeah, and this is gonna go nuts once it, oh no, this is the other one, not the double encounters one. A land! Does playing Roxanne do anything right now? Not really. We could get a 4/4 down. This is a 4/3. It's always awkward when you're the aggro deck and the other deck is being more aggro than you. It's kind of a weird spot to be in. Yeah, I don't... With the cards in our hand, I don't really see a great way around this. We have 15. We're not probably dead next turn if we block right. Yeah, I mean, I think we just... I think we just need the mana. We need the mana, but we can't attack because we'll die. So, I think this game's done. Alright, good stuff. We went first that game too. Sucks. So really, from now on, we're only going to look for hands where we can ramp into Roxanne by turn 3 or 4. Because this deck doesn't function unless we do that. Once we get Roxanne down early, we get the Meteorites, which gives us extra mana, which allows us to play all our other stuff, continue our aggro game plan. But if we don't get there and we don't draw lands like we're supposed to and all that kind of stuff, it's a bad time. Another mono green deck. Interesting. Okay. No ramp. I have so much ramp in this deck and it will not give me the ramp. Yeah. I said we're gonna mulligan hands like this. We're gonna mulligan this hand too. Ramp! Put this hand as ass now. Keep 5. Alright, we'll just go to the next game. We'll get there. We'll get there. No point in playing... I want to say that too. Like, a lot of people get really angry while playing this game. First of all, it's a game, right? Don't be angry. It's not worth your anger. But also, like, if you don't think that you can win a game, just scoop. It ain't a tournament. You know, this is just for fun, right? Like, just scoop the game. Like I just did. I mulliganed to 5. My mull to 5 would have sucked. You know, I'm not going to play that game out. It's a waste of my time. All right, so we get to go first. We have a ramp piece. A good one, too. Panharmonicon, this is awkward, but it is what it is. And we're playing against Ragavan, which is actually really funny. So Lightning Bolt is good against the Ragavan. So I think we keep. Typically against this deck, if you kill Ragavan enough, they just scoop. So let's get down a fetch land and see what they do. If they don't play Ragavan, we'll get a Surveil land. If they do play Ragavan, we will... They wouldn't even let me fetch. They knew that I was going to go fetch for something to kill Ragavan, and that puts them way behind. Because what they want to do is smack in with Ragavan next turn, start ramping, right? And then their deck is kind of like a big red deck or a land destruction deck, one of the two. But if you kill Ragavan, it turns that whole engine off. So, like I said, I didn't think they would scoop that early, but, yep. Okay. All right, we got in the win column. We got in the win column by playing a land and motioning to fetch. Mono red players, man. But maybe he took my advice, or that player took my advice, You know, they didn't think they could win after I killed the Ragavan, so they just scooped it up. I mean, I respect that. It's fine. We'll choose to give them the benefit of the doubt. Uro, okay. Uro. Well, we don't need to worry about it being on the battlefield for a bit, but Simic is an interesting matchup. Awkward, it's a ramp piece. Ramp piece. Alright, we said we were going to keep hands with ramp. So, let's do it. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. No, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, Roxanne, turn 4. Yeah, I mean, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then we'll see what happens. Because a 6/6 is a big boy. Alright. And they're getting life. I'm not so much worried about the life gain as I am trying to fight against a 6/6 with a Gruul deck. Nope. I think we get the treasure down. It's more important. Are you gonna counter my guy on the stack? Is there a one mana blue counter that counters a creature? There has to be, right? Okay, no, they're just surveilling. Okay. I've seen this deck built in two main ways. One is like Simic good stuff, right? They're just using Uro as a way to ramp essentially and draw cards. Or there's a control version of this where they use Uro for card advantage and life gain and eventually the beatdown, but it's not clear which one we're against yet. Although this kind of signifies that we're against the former instead of the latter. So it's probably Simic good stuff. I mean, that's what most people who play Simic like to play anyway. Don't really have enough mana for that yet. We don't want to crack our treasure, so we're going to go search with Verdant. We can shock in Stomping Ground, fix our mana a little bit, get this guy down, and then we'll tap it by cycling the Forgotten Cave. I don't even know if I want to cycle this. I'm so worried about lands. If they leave up all their mana, then they have a counterspell, because why wouldn't they play Uro? They're reading the card. Mana Rock that could potentially give us a lot of mana later on. Okay, Grazer. The land. They don't have a... Why would you play Grazer if you didn't have a land to play? Weird choice. So they didn't play Uro, so they definitely have a counterspell. They're going to counter Roxanne. If that's what they're going to do, maybe we don't cycle this. Yeah, I think we just keep the land. That's, yeah, perfect. If they're going to hold up counter magic, we're not going to let them counter our commander. They can counter our other stuff. No? Attacking wouldn't do anything here. I have 2 mana up. Can't do anything with it, so we'll just tap this, get the thing. Actually, we'll undo that. We'll do that on their turn, so they think we have... They have to think about us having 2 mana up and what that means. Cycle Sensor? See? Okay, so they were going to use this on our commander, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although it wouldn't have worked. But maybe... No, it would have worked because this came into play tapped. Yeah, so this would have countered our commander. That's exactly the kind of counter I was talking about earlier when we were playing against Tanada. Okay. Are you going to play Uro? That's what your deck does, right? Uro? No? You're gonna hold up more counter magic? Okay. Alright, I think we get rid of Crackle with power. It's just too early in the game for that to be good. And I think we're... Burn down the house isn't exactly good either against a 6/6. But maybe we hold on to it just in case. That's not the only thing we're worried about. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. Counter? We have 2 mana open, so Spell Pierce won't work here. They have 3 mana open. This can't tap yet. Absorb energy, sure. So their enchantments cost 1 less to cast. I don't even know if they have any. Resolve. Next. See how they block here? Okay, that's fine. I'm totally cool getting rid of their hexproof mana dork. End turn, put a stop here, just in case Arena tries to screw me like they do all the time. Uro, How many cards they have in the graveyard? They have enough, but not this turn. Resolve. Let's see if they continue to hold up mana. Pass. Okay. Well? Do you think they have a counter? It's always the question, right? I mean, we have enough mana to play Roxanne again, so I guess it's free card advantage, right? If they have a counter, they're wasting it on Roxanne. Mana drain. Okay. Scary. Take action, but we can still cast Roxanne next turn. We could cast Tireless Provisioner. They are tapped out. I don't really want to sacrifice Glittering Stockpile just yet. So I think since we have Glittering Stockpile, I'm okay. Because this will give us treasures. So we'll do it like this. Okay, that gets through. We gain a life. No attacks. And then if I want, I can start using the Reflection of Kiki Jiki to copy the Prosperous Innkeeper and make a treasure every turn. So they get 5 colorless. We'll see if they have a spell in their hand that they can use that colorless on. I would like 5 colorless. Okay. Sure. I run a lot of basics, so that ain't gonna work. Forest. We need more forests, so let's do that. Thank you for the treasure. I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe because this implies that they didn't have anything to do with the colorless mana. Oh, okay, never mind. Keep up double blue. Did they already use these? No, that was last guy who used counter spell. They blew up. Oh, they blew up my thingy. It's too bad. Witness protection. Okay, got it. So this would create us 2. So that doesn't really do anything. 2 Llanowar Elves. Man, that was a good turn for them. Well, I think that's our only play. Right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This gets countered, it's rough. They don't get countered. Okay. No attacks. Okay, so now we have a ton of mana. If they have a River's Rebuke or something like that, or Kogla to get rid of our guy, that sucks. They're putting down the big boys. Hit the Motherlode might have to be our savior. We're at 28 and we're gaining life. Nah, take the hit. Down to 21, they're tapped out. The Motherlode. I think we gotta just roll the dice. Okay, that's not the worst. Like a ton of treasures. No attacks. Okay. We can use this for card advantage. We don't really need the treasures. Is it 2 cards? XL top 2. Yeah. Okay. Got some forests. They can play Uro. They start digging around in their graveyard. We know that's what they're doing. Yep. Uro time. Crackle with power would have been nice now. Maybe I should have held on to it. Attack, huh? Okay, just play a treasure, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 mana, 12 mana. Okay. So we could kill Kogla, or we could kill Titan. Titan requires us to block with the Provisioner, though, which is not great. Do we need the Provisioner, though? And it has a shield counter, so it just comes back, right? Yeah. Not great. This is what we do. Until the end of your next turn. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure it didn't say the end of this turn. Oh, not great. Not great. And this only does 5 damage to each creature, so it'd just kill our stuff and be a one-sided board wipe. Well, yeah. Might not need to start making food, honestly, for the life gain. Crack this. I guess go get the Surveil land and try to determine what's on top. No. All of our ramp. All of our ramp. We could play Roxanne. Doesn't kill anything. Play Stomper, 1, 2, 3. That would turn Stomper on. Yeah, okay. Gain a life. Get more green. Make another food. And then we could play Zorn as a blocker. I mean, eventually if we play enough blockers, they can't really attack, right? Maybe that's the play here. And we're gaining life with all these creatures we play. Okay, I mean, that's a tough board to attack through. It's like kind of messy for us to block with, but it's a decent board. Now, if they have like some mega big blue spell, or if they have a Cyclonic Rift, it's GG, but I think that's where we're at. We have 21 life. We've got at least one more turn if they attack all. We'll see what they do. Given what we have in our hand, I think this is the best option for us. They could blow up a food if they want. But if they attack with stuff, it's gonna die. If I were them, I would attack with Uro for sure. Okay, they're gonna attack with everything. Pretty crazy. Okay, if they're gonna blow up a treasure, might as well pop it. And we'll pop another one. And we'll eat a food, gain 3 life. Okay. Yep. Uro trigger, gain 3 life, draw a card. Put a land on the battlefield. Fair and balanced magic. So we'll pass, go to blocks. So I think we really need to clean up this board. I think if we can allow them to continue to attack like this, we're going to lose. So Titan doesn't have a shield counter on it anymore. Why? I don't know. Hold on. Is there a way we can kill both of these? I don't see it. I don't see it. This is 5 damage. We're taking 13. And then we can block here and take only 6. Okay. They have a pump spell? That would be unfortunate. Our opponents have had it this entire session, so I wouldn't even be surprised at this point if they had instant speed, pump spell. Archdruid's Charm. Instant speed, pump spell. Okay. Good for you, opponent. I'm not saying GG. Nope, did not have fun. It's funny. Every time I record these videos, it's like one or the other. I either do really well on video or I don't do really well. There's no like in between. And what's funny is that like when I build these decks, I playtest them first, and when I playtested this deck, it did really well. Like I won 75% of the games, and the deck worked really well. Because I don't want to play a deck that's not built right, you know. Obviously, since I build these once a week, they're not perfect, but I tried to build them and test them to make sure that they're doing, you know, what they're designed to do. And this deck has not done what it's designed to do this entire video, so I apologize for that, but I don't even know if I'm supposed to be apologizing because it's just like shit luck. But that's just magic, man. That's just... You play test your deck, you goldfish it, you go to the tournament, and you just get waffle stomped. That's Magic the Gathering in a nutshell. They get to go first with the tally. We have ramp. It's not a good hand. It's just not. Magda, so ramp. Ramp. We also have Natali, which is pretty funny. I guess we'll try this. So this will be our turn 1 land because it has to be tapped. Mana Dork? I would like to have a Mana Dork. Pretty good one. Mana Accelerator. Oh, that's the gain land. I thought it was the crime land. You're on 4 mana on turn 2? Or, no, 3. This doesn't tap for mana. Still. Rhythm of the Wild. Everything's got haste. You're such a good Magic player. Gala? Yeah. Gala, then Magda next turn. Or is it Magda this turn? This makes a tap treasure. This doesn't. So I think we have to do it like this. I would like to do it the other way so this gives us the treasure because this doesn't trigger off itself, but good game. What? I don't know. We take those. I'm just not even going to think about it. We take those. Thank you, opponent. I was on a losing streak, so I'll take the free win. Ooh, Emery. I haven't played Emery in a while. So it's mono blue, mill yourself. I guess mono blue artifacts is the better way of putting it. And then they usually go get Paradox Engine and then they go infinite. So kind of a weird deck to play against because you're not playing the same kind of normal game of Magic that you normally do. It's a great hand though. I mean, we'll keep it. We're going first. Let's see if we can actually do the aggro thing. This is a good deck to do the aggro thing against. Professional Facebreaker. Yeah, I mean... What is Emery again? It's a 1/2? Yeah, we'll have it ready for turn 3. I think we keep it. Okay. It also has Menace, so it triggers itself just by being evasive. 2 or more other lands. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought this one came in untapped if I had a mountain or forest. That's okay. So we had nothing but tap lands. At least this will come into play untapped next turn. And then we can do the thing. Or we can play Facebreaker. Probably Facebreaker. I mean, that's a good card. That is a good Magic the Gathering card. Okay, Facebreaker. Would you like to counter it? Or bounce it? They do have artifacts that bounce things, like the Spell Bomb. They can loop the Spell Bomb over and over again. Forget which one it is. The blue Spell Bomb. Okay, so they're holding up all their mana. I wonder what it could be. Let's attack them. Get a treasure. I guess we could have played this. I forgot this has haste. We could have played this and potentially gotten 2 treasures, which would have been sweet. But if this goes through, it's still good for us. They could counter it if they want. Weird. Why wouldn't you use that on my commander? Sure. I will definitely take that out of your hand. And I think we gotta save this. We're not gonna play this as a... Oh, we can. Yeah, land? Okay, sweet. Okay, end turn. I thought we played this turn, but I guess it was last turn. Lot to keep track of. Okay, sure. Exile that from my graveyard. I'm not a graveyard recursion deck. I already played my only graveyard recursion piece. Yeah. They're kind of... I'm surprised they sacrificed that, honestly. Tapping out, huh? Because they can't tap this yet. It's... I don't think they can anyway. No, they can. They can, because it's a artifact right now, not a creature. Okay. Maybe they realized that I can play my commander, and they didn't want that to happen. I don't know. Okay, well... I would like to play a game where I can showcase the deck and win. Is that possible? The early scoops were funny for a bit, but now it's a little annoying. Troxa. Okay, well, this is definitely one where we need to be super aggro. Can you stop putting the 10 mana spells in my opening hand? Shuffler, please. Oh, I guess I have 2 pieces of Graveyard Recursion. I lied, my bad. This is not fast enough, unfortunately. I mean, we do have a turn 5 Roxanne, but we're not doing anything before then. I mean, we're playing Gallic Readers, but you need other creatures to trigger these abilities. We could hope that we draw into spells that make this good. But we can't attack through this creature. It's a 4/4 flying Death Toucher. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna mull. Alright. Better? I mean, this makes the hand, right? If this survives, it makes the hand. We get to go first, too. I finally got all of the fetch lands. I finally got enough wild cards to get them all, so I'm super pumped about that. That's why there's so many in the deck. Yeah, keep. So we'll get a Surveil land with that. We don't have a turn 1 play. Neither do they. So we'll just go ahead and do this now. I'm always wary against blue decks if they have stifle effects. I've started to see them more and more, so I like to crack the fetches when they don't have a chance to counter it. But if I see one blue up, I'm always a little nervous to do it. Man, I'm so worried about playing this now because if I do, it's like easy removal target. Is there anything I could do next turn with this hand? 3 mana. Yeah, I could play Roxanne. So we can play it and hope it survives, which is not normally how I roll, but we'll do it for the video. And we'll just... They don't have removal mana up right now, and they don't have white or black. It survived. Normally that would never happen, so don't count on that if you're playing this deck. This should I thought this reduced it by 2 because it's red and green, but maybe I don't understand the rules on that as much. Either way, we can still play Escape to the Wild, which is an awesome play. So we'll play this. What's Stomping Ground? If the game lets me select it. Oh, we can't. Okay. Next turn. Sorry, I guess I don't understand how that card works. I thought if you had red and green, it reduced it by 2, because it's red and green. But I guess I'll have to look at the rules on that one. Okay, now they have white and black mana. And we have a bunch of 5 drops. Okay. Sweet. What to do? Do we play the tap land and then Escape to the Wilds? I think so. Shit. I keep thinking that this is going to reduce it more, but it doesn't. That was a total fail. Oh, man. Okay, what my brain was trying to do was play Escape to the Wilds and then get this down because it gives us a second land drop. So what I should have done is played an untapped land, played this, and then played the tapped land. But I did it in the wrong order, so I didn't get to do any of that. I think I'm just frazzled from all the weird games we've been playing. Okay, so now we can do things. I think we just burn down the house, honestly, at this point, or banditry. I don't think we have enough mana for that, though. I'm a little worried about the interaction with this. I think theoretically I have enough mana, but I've just fucked up twice, so... I could exert that. I don't really feel like that's necessary. Maybe we just... Maybe we just do this. Let's get ahead. While we have this down. Do I have a mountain in my hand? I don't. So we'll play you on red. We don't have a mountain, so this could come into play taps. We don't have enough mana to do that. Okay, so I think we do it like this. Urbrass Forge, that's a great card to get down now. It's not going to do anything right now, but in a couple turns it's going to be, if they don't get rid of it, it'll be eventually a 4-1, so they're going to have to start blocking or something to deal with it. They're just rampant, so what is this? Deals combat damage to the player, proliferate. Okay, so they're just setting up. We can get rid of it with Roxanne if we want. I kind of want to cast these spells that are going to go away. Okay. If we have a mountain, this comes into play on tap. We have a mountain. We can reveal a mountain from our hand. We don't have a mountain in our hand. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we could do this, and what else? Nothing? If we play Arena of Glory, we could exert it and burn down the house. And then they spend their next turn playing Atraxa, then we could Spiteful Banditry. Or we could Spiteful Banditry now. No. I think we're doing this. I think Goblin and Archromancer has done its work. Do you have counters? Yeah, we'll make it so that this guy can't block. Okay, next. Remember, they have... Yeah, so they can add 3 mana at instant speed. They can't block with Atraxa. They're probably not worried about taking the damage. This has lifelink. So we could play Arena and then burn down the house. No, we can't. Why? Why can't we exert it? I'm so confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Oh, you have to pay red to exert it. Oh, I thought it was just tap to exert it. In that case, we can demand answers and sacrifice the... No, it's not an artifact. This is an artifact. Man. Apologies, I'm all over the place. We can make 1 Llanowar Elf. Or we could just discard a card. Okay, let's just do this. Discard a card. I think we're good on mana right now. So let's get 2 more cards that are a little bit more relevant. Would you like to counter this? Crossing Grip is nice for their thingy. It has split second too. So they can't do anything about this. They could tap for the mana. I think split second means they... I forget the rules on split second. If they can tap for the mana or not. Alright, so that worked out. Now they don't have any proliferation targets. They're probably going to play some more, but hopefully that's what they do. Spend all their mana doing that, and then we can burn down the house. Elspeth is dead. Sure. Okay. I would like that Crossing Grip back. Attack. Yep, down to 13. You're up to 25. Proliferate. Sure. Okay, so stuff costs 2 more. Not a huge deal. Do they have a creature down here? They don't. So if I don't kill their stuff next turn, this will pop on their upkeep and not get their creatures back. If I kill all their stuff now, they can just bring back Atraxa with the final chapter of this. Do I have anything instant speed? I don't. They're all sorceries. They could have a counter spell, so we could blow up their something or other. I think this is more relevant as a land. It's too bad this is not an instant. We could attack, just see what happens. See if they're gonna double block. Yep. Okay. Roxanne? Yeah, that's why they didn't double block, because I could have killed it. But I wouldn't have killed it anyway, because I don't want it to come back. Yeah, end the turn. Okay, so now if they spend their mana blowing up Roxanne or whatever, it's all good because Roxanne's going to die anyway because we're going to sweep the board. Elspeth will go away. Yep. So they get rid of their Go for the Throat. That's totally fine. We have tons of mana. So I'm not worried about recasting Roxanne. They get their creature back. Right. I guess I shouldn't have attacked, but that's not the worst thing. They don't have any proliferation targets. They're... Okay, they take damage. Ooh, we might have enough mana to just Banefire them. Oh, no, never mind. I forgot about their huge lifelinker. Okay. So, we'll attack with the Goblin and the 4/1. Take 6. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So we can do 8 to their face. Do you think they have counter spells? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I would have 3 left over. They're very close to just winning. I could gain 2 life with Tamiyo's safekeeping. Could play Roxanne to make more mana. I think if they don't have a counter, Banditry is the better play. If they have a way to pump... Do you think they have a way to pump their stuff? It's always risky with X spells. We're not doing anything else this turn, right? So we just need to leave up 1 green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could do it for 7. So why don't we just do it for 5? Just in case. Leave up green. That way we get around a counter that requires us to pay like 4 or whatever. And we also can keep up Tamiyo's safekeeping to gain 2 life. They're going to negate. Okay. Okay. So we can still burn down the house too, I believe. No. Oh, I have to crack this to do it. Do you think they have another counter? If they do, it's so bad for us. It's so bad if they have a counter. So bad. Burn down the house. Oh, it resolved. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so this turn, they're going to just replay their commander, most likely. Vanishing Light, probably on the Urraz Forge, which is too bad. But then they can't cast their commander, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they can. If they take 2, how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. They're tapped. Can they kill us next turn? Can they kill us next turn? If they can't kill us next turn, they can't counter this. And we can Tameo safekeeping. Yeah, I think this is the play. We need more mana. They're gonna gain 4 back. Oh, it's gonna be so close. We can windfall, but that would exert this, right? 1, 2. How can I cast this? I don't know. We're gonna gain 4, they'll be back up to 13. Then we'll get another meteorite. Oh, it's gonna be so close. It's gonna be so close. They only have 2 cards in hand though. One of them's a land. They can draw and take 4. Okay. Yeah? Do you have more effects that take away life? That would be ideal. Let's see. Okay. I don't think there's anything in those colors that can do 4 damage at instant speed, right? Hold on. Let's do the math real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus the 2 from me attacking. So they'll be down to 7. So we'll have enough mana for this. Okay. We don't need to... I just wanted to make sure we didn't need to fire this off in, like, on their end step to gain the life so that we don't get got by them. But we'll have enough mana. Okay. Here we go. So first... Oh, they have something. There was a stick there. First, we're gonna attack. So even if they kill Roxanne, there's nothing they can do about this. They could take the 4. They're gonna block. We'll force their hand. Oh, I forgot about the life gain. Oh shit, do I have enough mana now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I forgot about the life gain. I forgot about the life gain. I'm just so worried. They're in blue. They obviously they couldn't counter it, but if they have an effect that puts it back in my hand, then we just lose. We can draw a card with this. One, yeah. Do I want to sack it to draw a card though? Is that worth it? I don't think so, right? 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If we, yeah, I mean, draw a card, windfall. Okay, I think drawing a card's good. We can windfall. Even if we're going down a mana, we can gain 2 back with windfall, and then we can chuck, because we have to have a card to chuck for windfall. Perfect, it's a land. So we'll end our turn. Oh, it's so close. Maybe I should have just Banefire, but I'm just worried. I'm just worried. And I like them having to tap out for their commander, so it's... They still have 2 mana up. Let's see if they counter this. Put a stop because Arena has messed with me before. Nope, they don't. Oh, we can also Ragavan. Okay. Okay, we should be able to win from here, right? So we shouldn't attack, right? Because they'll gain 4 life. It fights, yeah, so fighting would also, I mean, it's too much mana. We don't have enough mana to Banefire if we do that. Okay, let's just Banefire. Let's just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have enough. Do they have a way to gain life at instant speed? I mean, if they do, good for them, right? Can't be countered. Oh, don't tell me you have something. I'm trying to think. You can't counter it, man. I can't be countered. They did have a counterspell this whole time, though. I just want that to be stated. Put a counter on a Troxa. Uh-huh. Can't be countered. What else you got? What else you got? Nothing! Yes. Oh, man. All right. I think that's a good game to end on. Deck didn't go as planned. Ooh, I got a little mastery thing. I'm gonna take a little side quest here because I finally got 2. By the way, I want to say to Wizards, good job on this new system of, instead of the weird like fill in the connect the dots with the orbs thing that you had before, now you can spend the orbs on cool stuff. I think that's a way better system. And I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna get a playset of these Sorens, because I don't like really any of these sleeves. I think they're all pretty meh. I'm not big into any of this other stuff, but a playset of cards is pretty sweet. These are all style cards. These aren't actual cards, but this is an actual playset. So I'm gonna get these real quick. Will I ever use them? Who knows? But that's 4 mythics worth of cards. So to me, that's absolutely worth it. Yeah, cool. Okay, so like I was saying, the deck didn't perform like I was hoping on stream, but I promise that the deck actually does get wins. I've, like I said, play tested it before. You may want to edit some of the cards, and that's totally fine. But I think this is a good shell. You know, a couple things, just a couple thoughts. We have a ton of ramp, and we didn't really draw any of it or have it in our opening hand. I mean, look how much ramp we have. There's so much ramp. So normally this deck, the way it works is you get Roxanne out by turn 3 or 4 pretty consistently. And what was happening in the video is we were constantly getting these huge spells in our opening hand. But look, there's only like 7 of them out of our 100 card deck or 99 card deck, right? So like, if you just do the math, it doesn't really make sense why these were in our opening hand so often. I mean, how often do we have an Ulamog or an Emrakul in our opening hand? Ridiculous, right? We only have like 6 or 7 5-mana spells too, and we would get these, like, we would get hands full of these. So I think this was not a great representation of how the deck actually runs, because these spells normally, maybe you get one of these, you know, or every other game you get like one of these in your opener, but it's still really good with all the ramp. But that wasn't happening. So I would say if you're interested in this deck, try out the deck list. It's in the description. And then tinker with it, you know. If you feel like it needs a little bit more ramp because the same things are happening to you, that's fine. Just add a little bit more ramp. But the deck, when it does do the thing, is really good. I didn't really get to showcase it today, like I was saying, but normally we do get Roxanne down early, and when you get Roxanne down early, it's really hard for the opponent to come back, because you're doing 2 damage to whatever you want every turn when she attacks. It's a 4/3 body, so it's just kind of hard to block or get rid of. And since it's an attack trigger, the damage happens with the meteorite before they can block. So even if they have a creature that they may block with, you can put the damage on the creature even if it doesn't kill it, and then they might not want to block with it because they thought that they were, you know, their 4 toughness creature or 5 toughness creature was going to survive, but now it's not because Roxanne is 4 power, and so it'll die. It's just stuff like that. And then you're making meteorites, so, you know, by playing Roxanne and attacking with Roxanne, you are ramping every turn. So I would give the deck a try. It's a really fun Gruul list. It's a really cool card design. You know, it's a great build around. And you can build it in a more mid-rangey way if you want. It's up to you. I think mid-range in a Gruul shell is just going to lose a lot in Brawl. I think Gruul's really only path to victory in the current Brawl queue is to be aggressive. But you can go ahead and give it a try. But that's the video, so let me know what you think of Roxanne. Don't be too mean with your comments on my you know, the way I played the games, but I'm not really sure we could have made much better choices, you know. Obviously the games where I was making blunders, that is what it is, but that's half the fun with Magic, is making blunders and having a bunch of people watch you do it. All right, so thanks for watching. It was good to be back on camera. Subscribe if you liked the video. And if you want to join our Discord, where people recommend decks to me to try and just hang out, that link is in the description. All right, thanks. See you guys in the next one. Later.